Alrighty, we're just gonna go ahead and get started, and then if Birdie pops on, he'll just share. There's Birdie now. There we go. That worked out great. Hi, Birdie.
Hey there.
Perfect timing. Alrighty. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Carrie Murphy. I work over in, as I drop things, I work in Fairfield County's Recycling Center. Today we're just going to be talking to you guys about Earth Day, some county news, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to jump on. This is informal, so you're more than welcome just to unmute yourselves if you guys want to have a conversation or have questions, or if you want to put your questions in the chat box, you're more than welcome to. So we'll just go right ahead and we'll jump into today's presentation on Earth Day, and then we'll do county updates. So Katrina, from Perry County, she's going to be doing the presentation today.
Hello, and thank you so much, Carrie, and everyone else here for allowing us to share what we have to share with you today. And I have to say, it was very, very shrewd of my educator counterparts to somehow, I'm not sure how I ended up being the one, I volunteered, I think, to talk about Earth Day today. But we just finished our quarterly report. I don't know if anybody out there ever has to do grant reports, but it was an interesting scramble for some reason. I don't know why. So here I am, ready to report to you guys about Earth Day. We are upon that special date that I don't know about my educator counterparts out here, but I consider Earth Day kind of like the Christmas of environmental advocates. And I don't want to claim to be a tree hugger per se. I've been accused of that, but I'm not really, I don't see myself as a hippy dippy type of person. I was born in the early 60s, and I'm proud of the fact that I witnessed a few things, and Earth Day was one of them. As a kid, 1970 was the first formal declaration of Earth Day around our country, and it was a grassroots kind of thing. So I'm just going to give you a really condensed version of what Earth Day to me is about. And you guys, Carrie, Birdie, Tammy, please, please, please jump in and chime in wherever you see fit. Okay, I really appreciate all your input. We all like to share this kind of information, and I really think it's a group effort what we've been doing here with these monthly round table Q&A things. So looking at the local paper, we had this little insert that was in the paper, the parade, and you see the shorebird with the plastic around him, how to help before it's too late. Plastic is kind of one of the main topics of concern here lately. When I started this position 15 years ago, I've been teaching as an educator of conservation for 35 years almost now, but I've really felt blessed to work here in this job as an environmental educator, a recycling educator for the Perry County program, partnering in the last year, especially through this pandemic with these three fine individuals. I think we've moved forward with the virtual outreach kind of thing that we can do with people. We've created a shared YouTube page to help share our message. Every day, Verdi, Tammy, Carrie, and I work as education specialists to share the message about Earth Day every day, 365 days a year. And that was the premise of why Earth Day started. A Senator Gaylord Nelson, back in 1970, he was considered a junior legislator at that time, but he did a pretty neat speech, and you can Google it like you can everything online, but something that he said that resonated with me, supporting the bill that he was proposing to the Senate, to the legislature. He wanted to ban phosphates. and every one of us that are in this meeting, and hopefully this is recorded and we can share this in the future to other people that missed this meeting that we're doing right now. But the banning of phosphates in our detergents was an issue back when I was a kid. I didn't understand it, but it was an issue. We can get into the science of why phosphates are a problem, but we don't have that kind of time with this type of format. But that's what Gaylord Nelson was talking about. And he said that's equally important. He says it's just as desperately, I quote, as we need the defense against atomic missiles. Okay. So he said things in this speech that moved the legislators that represent all of the people in our country to declare April 22nd, 1970 is the first day for Earth Day. And it kind of blew up from there. It exploded with grassroots type events. There were thousands and thousands of community events around the country that were happening. There were key coordinators out of California. Dennis Case was instrumental. He's still alive today. Yes, he is. And he helped move forward, along with our legislators, the passing of our clean air and clean water bills, which I don't know about you guys, but it's pretty important to me to be able to breathe some clean air and drink some clean water when I need it. That's not hippy dippy. That's survival. That's my opinion. So call me a tree hugger if you wish, but really I think it's about quality of life. And I'm a pretty conservative person actually, but to me, I have grandchildren. I have 10 little potatoes running around from the 5 children that my husband are blessed with. And those children mean a lot to me. I chose to get into conservation. We all know our own stories of why we do what we do. 6th grade, you guys, science camp at 6th grade camp, Camp Palmer up in Fulton County. I was a Henry County native, but that's what moved me. The teachers, the educators, they made an impression on me, so much so that I not only wanted to live a lifestyle that was going to be good for the earth, which is what Earth Day is all about, but I wanted to pursue a career in it. I didn't quite know what the heck I was doing at 18, but it's a journey, as all of us can attest. Finding your career is a journey. If you can have a passion in what you do, make a living in that, oh my goodness, you've handled most of the battle there. So going back to this little insert, I kind of liked it. It actually had some good suggestions for 5 ways to help the planet. And anybody ever hear about this issue of glitter? Never occurred to me in, probably what, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I think it became more of an issue that those of us who pay attention to all this stuff that, oh, plastic glitter. Less than 10 years ago, I was sprinkling colorful bits of plastic glitter in my recycled paper activities with students. Oh my gosh, what a terrible example I was, not realizing that plastic glitter actually gets into our water bodies and can be an issue beyond that little classroom you might be doing this activity in, for whatever other crafty things you do with glitter. But it can be an issue and it won't go away. Plastic's known to exist and persist in our environment for hundreds of years, depending on what resource you look at for that statistic. Being food smart, buying local, making your own products by hand. It's not that hard. You save a lot of packaging, less waste, you know what's in your products. Embrace the earth-friendly fashion, buying clothes that, I don't know, I was 18 years old. I don't think I've bought a new pair of blue jeans since I was 18, you guys. I used to go to Southwick Mall in Toledo, Ohio, and I looked at the prices of jeans there, and it was all about money for me. I was not a wealthy young person, and I was going into a field of conservation as a college student. So, secondhand stores. Go figure. For all these years, over 30 years, I've just decided my commitment, my personal commitment, I can find some pretty dang nice clothing, top of the line stuff that's broke in just a little bit better than what I buy new. And I'm not contributing to all the, when you wash these things, there's a lot of poly-based materials that makes its way into our water bodies again. They claim with this plastic issue that we might be looking at by the year 2025, the experts say we might be looking at a ton of plastic per 3 tons of fish. It's going to be a 3-to-1, 3 fish to 1 ton of plastic. There's other experts have said it's a 1-to-6 ratio, depending on how far into the future you look at it. And what, again, the internet's a wonderful thing, but there's a lot of, variety in what your information is that's out there. In a nutshell, what I wrap my heart and brain around is the fact that there's a lot of plastic that's making its way into our water bodies. I don't know if you guys realize in these storm events that are happening right here in little old Perry County, Licking County, Fairfield County, Coshocton County, Ohio, we're not by an ocean, but there's river bodies, there's bodies of water, tributaries, perennial streams that run. And when it rains, gully washer time, all that litter that people are throwing on the ground finds its way to these water bodies and finds its way to the rivers and finds its way to the bigger river bodies, to the Mississippi, into the ocean. They claim, one of the sources says 80%. I don't know if that's true, but even half, even if you reel it back to a practical number that all of us skeptics can buy, even half of all this plastic litter that's going to lay on the ground and blow around and get into our water bodies eventually, and last for hundreds of years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, depending on the type of plastic. That's a long time for it to persist and end up in the ocean. I have a picture that's going to tug on your heartstrings. I just know it. I don't know if I saw this issue of National Geographic. That is you guys, anybody out there that's muted, want to tell me what you see here? We're asking. What is it? Can somebody say it?
A seahorse on a,
Good job.
cotton swab.
Good job.
Yeah.
Jeff, you get a prize. Next time I see you, we'll give you a reusable grocery bag made from plastic bottles that would have ended up in the landfill had they not gone to the market to be made into reusable plastic bags. This picture really got to me. I don't know if you guys saw this. I think it was in, help me out, the April issue of 2019, I think, of National Geographic. It was a whole focus on plastics in our environment. And this just kind of speaks to a lot of people when you see a little baby, teeny tiny seahorse clinging to what's in his environment. I made a decision years ago. I like Q-tips. Some people don't. They say don't put anything bigger than your finger in your ear. I like Q-tips. I have allergies. Sorry, I need to use Q-tips. I've never had to get the wax procedure done to me. Maybe it's because I use Q-tips properly. I don't know. But I know one thing. I'm going to buy paper-based Q-tips forever and ever and ever. I'm not buying plastic Q-tips. That's one simple thing each of us could commit ourselves to doing. Consumers drive the market. You guys know that. Everyone here, I'm preaching to the choir. Consumers drive the market. We make the manufacturers, the retailers decide what they're going to put on the shelf. They say women have a big influence on that, but men are growing in that as well. One more quote you guys might appreciate. Is that coming through reverse or can you read that? Okay. The environment and the economy are really both two sides of the same coin. If we cannot sustain the environment, we cannot sustain ourselves. And Wangari Maathai, she got the Nobel Peace Prize several years back. This was one of many quotes that she said. And I'm leaving it here so you can kind of have a look at that and digest that in your brains, in your hearts a little bit. Economy, environment, it all kind of ties hand in hand. It's not an unreasonable thing to expect each of us to have a clean world to live in and to leave for our children. It all kind of ties into consumerism and what we decide to do with the things that we buy. I'm going to wrap up with a couple examples. We have a disposable diaper here, and we have our lovely cloth diapers. Again, I'm dating myself, as I'm not afraid to do that. I do it all the time. I was raised when I was still not able to use the restroom as a baby in these washable diapers. Today, oh my gosh, if my mother had the products that they have available today for people to use in place of disposable diapers, I have to think more of us, if we looked into it, would make that decision to not use disposables as much, because the products that are out there are really convenient and they cut the waste in half or more, depending on what you decide to use. There's G diapers and different types of products out there where you can still have the super absorbent polymers that are inside diapers, all those little, if you ever dissect a diaper, you find all these little beads in here. They're super absorbent, SAP, super absorbent polymers. Do the math, it's exponential. That's the message I want to leave with you guys in my Earth Day sharing message. It's exponential. If you think about what a child that's a year old, year and a half, if we're lucky, they're out of their diapers by 2. In reality, sometimes it's 2.5, 3, 4, depending on the child and the issues. I suspect it's because these diapers, these disposables, are so good at whisking away the uncomfortable potty that used to make us uncomfortable in these washable ones. But for whatever reason, go 2 years, think of 5 diapers a day. That's conservative. Sometimes it's up to 10 diapers a day that you're changing. We'll say they're a pound. So say 5 pounds a day times 365 days in the year. You do the math exponentially. That's over 3,000 pounds of just solid waste diaper doo that's going into the landfill. And that's one baby. In Perry County, you guys have populations in each of your counties. We're looking at 37,000-ish of us, maybe 10,000 households or so, give or take. There's got to be 4,000 babies or so in there, just in my little county. And you take all those numbers and do the math, it adds up just in diapers. So if we can just make little changes in our habits, it's going to make a big difference into the future, and it's exponential. I can't say that enough. It is exponential. Here's what I do every day. I remind, this is our message. This is what we can accept for recycling in Perry County. It's visual. It's on, the labels are on our recycle containers. We're encouraging people to recycle right. It's a simple thing that we can do. We can't recycle it all, but at least easily over half of daily materials that we don't want anymore is this kind of stuff right here that we can recycle and make sure it goes to markets. I promise you, these go to viable markets that make them into products that you and I, people around the world, are going to buy. I'm going to end with that. Is there any more comments that my educator cohorts would like to throw in there on this topic of Earth Day?
I think you did a really good job about being just a wise, smart consumer. I love that you emphasized about the market. I mean, your dollar is a vote, and your dollar supports these companies, and that's what makes them thrive. So even if you don't stand for the companies, don't support them. Go local. If you can't go local, do your research, pick the best ones. Good job on that.
Yeah, well, thank you. Bertie, Tammy, anything else on that topic?
We could all talk about this for days, I'm sure. So, but we got
You're
to
right.
kind of got to wrap up. But the thought process is very sound, definitely.
Very good. The last thing I wanted to share, if I may, I brought a board in here and it's going to be hard to show you, but you see all those, you see those dots on that grid? Can you guys see that? That's 1 million dots. And here, when we're talking, I wished I'd have brought this paper, but I'm sorry. I was doing my quarterly report, sorry. This is a reusable bottle. We encourage refill, not landfill, that kind of philosophy. Consumers throw away, according to the experts, over 400 million recyclable water bottles every week. That's like running back and forth to the moon 6 different times if you were to line them up end to end. And that's 400 million. And there's those little dots. It helps, people wrap their brain and hearts around the fact that, yeah, that's a lot, but it is a lot. And that's what we need everybody to realize. We can make a difference in the little things we do. And with that, I thank you for your attention. And I wish you all happy Earth Day next week, April 22nd.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and share Perry County's, does Perry County have any updates county-wise? Any events?
Yeah, very fast. We finished our oral history defining reuse scholarship project. We only had 7 entries. All 4 high schools participated. We have 4 high schools in Perry County. We had 3 top entries that our judges, 7 judges decided on. And we have an overwhelming amount of support from our community groups, anywhere from the Legion, the Elks, the Eagles, the Perry County Community Club. We actually have $2,000 to give this young lady. Her name is Olivia Crooks in New Lexington, $2,000 for first place. And her message, and along with the second place and third place winners, they are 2 Crooksville students. Their message is going to be on the digital shoebox at the Perry County Library and all other libraries around the world, where those oral recordings with these elder people that they were assigned to talk to forever. You can find these. If you just type in the word reuse, you'll find a building amount of recordings with young people talking to their grandparents and other elders in their lives to learn how to reuse and use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. So that was the premise of the project. And the Green School Challenge, we're hoping to see some entries. We'll see how that wraps up this week. Earth Week's next week. And with that, I'll stop and let you guys talk about the rest of the good stuff.
Sounds good. Bertie, what do you guys got going on?
Well, I've got a 3-week school program going on. So every Thursday afternoon, I'm going into Wilson Middle School. And that's pretty exciting. It's an after-school program, about 20 kids. So last week I did basics of recycling, had all the freebies to hand out. This week I'm going to do worms and take my worm farm, worm bins. If anyone's not familiar with this, for my co-educators, this little booklet's put out by Soil and Water somewhere, but Natural Resource Conservation Service. You can get them from I think it's Soil and Water up in Sandusky County. They're very inexpensive, little dated, but it's a great activity book. So I'll be passing those out. And then next week, I will go in on Earth Day and we'll do something probably considering a upcycle craft for Mother's Day. So kids could take that home and give it to their moms or grandparents, something like that. We are toying right now in the final stages of deciding what to do with our annual day camp. Lots of complications, of course, on doing a day camp right now. We may do 2 single-day events and just kind of call it a programming day, something like that, instead of a 2-day camp. We'll do 2 separate days, 2 separate audiences. Or we might do a camp in a bag type of event like we did last year. That worked out really well. It was a lot of effort. And the bad part is you don't have that rapport back with the family to know what they did. I even did a Zoom follow-up and some things like that, and it just did not fly. So we're kind of deciding what to do there. For Earth Day itself, even though I'm going into school, probably do what's called site visits. We go out to some of our recycling sites, spend an hour here, hour there, hand out some literature, some freebies, things of that nature, just in celebration of Earth Day. So things are still complicated getting into schools. I do have some events scheduled for May and June, but it's few and far between still. So I'll leave it at that. I notice we're down to less than 10 minutes, so want to pass that on. So back to you, Carrie, for just a moment. Carrie Murphy, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Tammy, hit it off with yours.
All right. So exciting news from Coshocton County. Last night, I went to one of my first in-person school programs. It was an after-school program, but there were about 27 kids and about 6 or 7 teacher/parent helpers. And it is so nice to get out and back to the schools and see the kids and make that connection again. So I've got another one coming up the end of the month. For next week, I'm going to be doing a Zoom program for a local 3rd grade class. And we're going to do Recycling 101 and tie that into what they've been talking a lot about, the earth and the environment and cause and effect of what we do to the earth and that kind of thing. So tying that in. And then on Earth Day itself, I will actually be on WTNS for about a half hour. That's our local radio station. And just kind of talking a little bit about Earth Day and encouraging basically what Katrina went over is just, the best thing we can do is reduce our waste. That is, recycling, super, it's wonderful. But if you don't have that waste to even begin with, that goes heads and tails above anything that recycling can do for us and for our environment. So upcoming, again, with Birdie, slow and steady, I've got a few programs. We're hot and heavy into cleanup days and so forth. So I've got one of those coming up on Saturday, and it's just springtime. It's go time, and it's a lot of fun to be getting back out there, especially after the long year we've had.
That is great. It seems like everybody's education programs are taking off. I would say the same thing in Fairfield County. We're starting to get a lot busier. I actually, for the next 4 months, there's community events happening, and we were invited to. So that's really exciting. It's refreshing to be out and about and see people's faces and make that connection. We have some pretty cool things that's been going on. I've been working with Alley Park. They're one of our partners that we work closely with. We've been doing recycling presentations for preschool at the park. That's a really cool opportunity. I recommend if you guys that are watching have preschoolers and you guys are in Fairfield County or surrounding counties, to definitely go. They're really educational, fun for the kids, and very hands-on. So I've been doing that recently. We're going to be doing they're having a couple of field trips out there. So I'm going to go out there and teach lessons to the kids. So it'll be fun outdoor environment for them. They're going to be a group of middle schoolers. So this is the first time I'll be teaching middle school students. Usually it's little ones or the older ones. So I'm pretty excited about that. We just finished out doing a packet giveaway for Family First Council. That went pretty well. We have a couple people come in, stop by, get some information for that. But Earth Day, as we know, is next week. And it's going to be a busy old week, and which we're really excited about. So to kick it off, we are doing our packet giveaway. So it's Earth Day packets filled with information, activities, sustainable activities, something that you're not creating more waste, something that's actually sustainable and you can use. We're going to be giving those out Thursday and Friday. of next week from 8:30 till 4. So pulling up, give us a call, toot your horn. We'll come out with a mask on and deliver that to you guys. And then Saturday, April 24th, we're doing a large event. We're partnering up with multiple organizations. A lot of them are environmentally focused, to do the Seeds of Change, which is an Earth Day and Arbor Day celebration. Sorry about my ding dong bell that you guys, I'm sure, can hear in the background. But anyway, so it's an Earth Day, Arbor Day celebration. We're going to have 15 plus vendors out there having information and activities for the young and the old to enjoy. That'll be happening at Rising Park in Lancaster. And they're kind of, the event is kicking off Orchard Hill Arboretum. So Rising Park is getting that established. They did a tree event where people could purchase trees to be placed in the arboretum. So it's kind of a good celebration for that. So we're just tying it all together. So that's a really big event happening. That's the 24th, so next Saturday from 12 to 4. We really hope to see everybody there. I'm really excited about it. I have some pretty cool things up my sleeve that we're going to have at the event. So good stuff. And then actually April 24th is Save the Frog Day too. So fun fact for you. What else? We are getting back into schools. I'm working with more middle schoolers, and we're going to be doing lessons on water quality tied into pollution, tied in community effects. So I'm really excited to work with these kids. We'll have like an hour and a half with each group of kids. So I'm ecstatic because it's we can do hands-on activities, applying what we learned during the presentation. Pumped about that. Oh, what else? There's going to be a couple litter cleanups happening in Fairfield County. Pickerington's doing a litter cleanup on Thursday. Details are kind of to be announced. I think that's going to be happening. There's also going to be a disposal day Saturday the 24th at OUL, and people can dispose of their batteries there. Retrieve Technologies are going to be there, so they can dispose your batteries for free, I believe. Don't quote me on that. We're going to have the shredding truck's going to be there. People can drop off documents to be shredded confidentially, and then up to 2 boxes for free, I believe, is what's going on. And then they're also going to have a drug disposal day. So don't flush your pills. It's really bad for the water. You can dispose of it pretty much any time of the year at your sheriff's office. But if not, wait for the disposal days and they'll take care of them. Other than that, wishing everybody, we're kind of short on time. I wish everybody a happy Earth Day. And I heard this the other day and I just love it. So it says, go planet, it's your Earth Day. So I leave that to you guys. Happy Earth Day and take care and stay safe. Bye everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care.